2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Scarborough or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Wake up.
Get to the morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hayesy on Nova.
Look, Joe, parenting's hard. I'll tell you that much.
You've proven that over the gym.
Oh, haven't
Some
I?
people make it look easy, like your wife. Other people make it look extremely difficult.
Hey, and to go in defence for me, maybe it's because she does so much of it.
Okay. Oh, man. You know, they call that weaponising competence. Oh, Kara's so good at parenting, I'm just going to let her do all of it.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. We had a bit of a moment. Well, she had a moment of motivation on the weekend.
Okay.
She woke up at like 4:30, couldn't get back to sleep, and the kids were still sleeping. Sometimes they get up nice and early. She said, you know what, stuff it. I'm going to run Mount Lofty.
Whoa.
I'm doing it.
Whoa.
Yeah. She goes, I'm going up there. And it's a big ordeal. You've got to drive there, find a park, go up there, come back down, get back in your car and come home. It's a big, solid operation. Sometimes takes sort of an hour, 20 minutes. So while she was doing that, she was like, guess what, big fella?
Yeah,
you're in charge.
Oh, God.
You got the kids, are going to get up, got to feed them, got to make sure they don't die. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, that's a big responsibility. Kids these days. So there was one particular time where about 50 minutes into the expedition of me parenting solo.
Yeah.
And I went, look, I can't do this anymore. I need to go to the toilet. It just sort of hit me. I must have had a coffee and just went bang. I've got to get this out. You know what I mean?
Isn't coffee just one of the greatest cleansers, isn't it?
Yeah, coffee's like, hey, what are you up to? You want to go watch some TV? No, you're going to the toilet right now. I've decided. And just before I did that, Lottie, my 4-year-old, said, I want some toast. And I said, yeah, just wait up a second. I will make you some toast as soon as I'm done with this.
Yes.
And then she said, how about I make the toast? And I went, sure.
Okay.
Be my guest. Look after yourself. Be self-sufficient.
Tell everyone how old Lottie is.
She's 4.
Yeah.
It did strike me as well that she's never made toast before.
No.
Anyway, long story short, I was finished doing my business in the bathroom and I came out to something that absolutely shocked me.
Okay. Can I just hold you up on there before you tell the rest of this story? When you said you finished doing business, we all know in here at Nova that can take anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes.
I promise it was quick.
Okay.
Because I was on the clock and I knew that a bunch of kids out there up to all sorts, who knows. So I came out and the first thing that I saw, which was probably an image which is really going to shock me for the rest of my life, I'd say, is Lottie and also my 1.5-year-old somehow up on the kitchen bench next to the toaster. And what was in Lottie's hand was a knife, getting ready to dig out the toast from the toaster.
Oh, my God.
So at that time, and I just had this sort of moment, I was like, oh, my very goodness. And the first thing I said was, freeze. Don't do what I think you're about to do.
The floor is lava.
But also, the floor is lava. But also, I don't want to get that idea into your head of sticking a knife in the toaster.
Yeah.
So I said to her, did you put that in there? Said, no. But clearly she was about to. So I took her off and then she ran off. And I was like, oh, do I even say to her? Don't ever do that, to put the idea in her head.
Well, it's difficult with Lottie because everything's back to front day.
100%.
So everything you say don't do is a challenge to your 4-year-old.
100%, unless you're like, please do this.
Yes.
And then maybe she's like, okay, I've turned the corner. And she does it. So it's like, oh, gosh, what do you do? Just don't feel ideas in her head.
Yeah.
And then Cara came home and I ended up going for a run. And then I almost had to stop midway running. I started thinking about it. I'm like, what if I was like 30 seconds later?
Oh, my gosh.
Or what if for whatever reason she got that idea a little bit earlier? What if she jammed the knife in the toaster? And then I was like, oh, my God, is this one of those moments? What if my 1.5-year-old Sonny, what if he jammed the knife in the toaster? Oh,
no.
It makes you feel sick.
It's awful, isn't it? But the lesson here is 4-year-olds and electrical appliances shouldn't be left unsupervised.
Yes, 100%. Also, ladies and gentlemen, pray for me because I know the kids and my wife in the car right now.
Yeah.
She'd be hearing the story for the first time.
Oh, well.
She doesn't know. Let's do this.
Love stinks! Yeah!
Hard to make out what was said there. It's Melbourne stinks.
Melbourne stinks.
Okay? Melbourne stinks. And the prices will blow your socks off.
We went to Melbourne for a couple of days, and don't get me wrong, love the sporting aspect of Melbourne, but some of it I could take or leave, like the moment that I nearly stepped on a dead rat.
Yes, which was as big as your foot.
Yeah, which you informed me, because I said if that thing had popped all over my shoe, I would have thrown out my shoes, and you said you can't pop them.
You can't pop a rat, okay? It's not like squishing a spider.
13 24 10.
Stop abusing the phone lines, all right?
So anyway, there are aspects of Melbourne that really, really suck. And one of them was we went just for a very casual lunch, bit of Thai food, and we walked away. And because it was a public holiday, there was a surcharge, and it was $280, which nearly brought me to tears.
Yeah, so and we just assumed that you accidentally went to some super fancy restaurant, which you can do when you don't know what you're doing in Melbourne. You can end up in a really, really fancy place. You thought, I'll just get a stock standard Thai meal. Turns out it cost you over nearly $300.
Well, I think the first error was we went to South Bank. So
Right.
that's
Is that classy?
obviously a very classy, expensive area.
Ooh, South Bank.
Oh, okay, mate.
I'm a North Bank operator.
Yeah, bet you are.
I don't go to Melbourne. What about this? A Reddit user shared a photo of a receipt from Melbourne Airport revealing a total of $46.58 for a very, very stock standard meal. So we're talking a ham and cheese toastie,
Yep.
which should cost you $6, I reckon. If you're from the local deli, that costs $14.50 with an additional, and this has got people really, really razzed up, $2.50 charge for a single slice of tomato. Oh, okay,
So
Melbourne.
mad.
A medium almond milk latte costing $8.50. A stone wood pale ale, which cost $15. And then a little $6.10 surcharge applied due to Anzac Day public holiday.
Oh, my.
Oh, very goodness.
Well, my question is, why are you having an almond milk latte combined with a stone and wood pale ale? That's gross.
Who's mixing milk with beer?
Who's mixing your coffee with a beer?
That's where you went wrong, I think.
That's where this guy. So that's $46.50 for that little meal. But you know what? I also take umbrage to people who complain about the cost of things at airports, because you know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
If you know, if you've left your snacking too late and you have to eat at the airport or you have to have a drink at the airport, you're in trouble.
I won't say exactly where it was, but remember when we were, actually, you were part of this. Remember a few years ago when we used to have to stalk Isaac Rankin coming in from Gold Coast?
Oh my God. Yes.
So in Isaac Rankin, when it was announced, so he announced that he wanted to trade to Adelaide. So we're like, oh, great. Now we have to camp at the airport waiting for Isaac Rankin for what was a month. Every single day, every sports journo was camping at Adelaide Airport waiting for him to come in.
Yeah.
And it was only, we worked out there was only one flight that was coming in. It was like the 3 o'clock.
It was 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon from the Goldie.
Yeah, from Jetstar or something directly from the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
But he could have come from Brisbane.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So we weren't allowed to just turn up at this one thinger. And I ended up getting to the stage where I'd be like, the first sort of week, I found out I was spending about $65, $70 each and every day at the airport.
True story.
I was taking out mortgages to pay for my time waiting for Isaac Rankin. And he wasn't turning up, by the way.
Yeah, and then because it was late in the afternoon, by this stage we were like, oh, God, do you want to go and get a beer and a burger?
Yeah, and we do that, and we'd go, cool, we'll just go, we'll just go get a beer.
Yeah.
Maybe something to eat, and you're like, cool, no, that's $28. You're like, oh, gosh, my wife's going to kill me.
Oh, my God. She's going to cut off my allowance for the next week.
So the key message is just don't eat at airports.
Don't.
Is that what we've got?
Take a Ziploc bag full of snacks. No one's going to judge
Cool.
you.
13, 24, 10. No, we're not doing that.
Warning, the following segment is for mature audiences only and may contain adult content, graphic language and nudity. Not that you'll see it. If easily offended, well, you're about to find out just how easily.
Your father, he's on the naughty list.
Jody and Hazy's Naughty at 6:40.
Now, Joes, as a pornography enthusiast, I'm going to hand this over to you. What have you got for us this morning?
I love when you do this. I love when you do this. You say, hey, do you want to take care of this one? And then you throw me so hard under the bus. As a woman who loves pornography, Jody, take it away.
What have you got? Because us wholesome figures,
Okay.
we're very, very uneducated in this space.
Well, let me put this back on you. Favourite porn genre?
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Thank you. Wow. Jeez, it doesn't feel good being on the other end of it, does it?
No.
No, I'm not a genre guy. Sorry, I should say that again. I'm not a porn guy. Whoops. It's all confusing, this conversation.
So very confusing, isn't it? Okay, did you know, my good friend, that tan lines is a legitimate porn category? So this is just actually a really dangerous and alarming trend. You see girls getting around maybe with a strapless top now and they've got the thin white lines through their tan.
Why is that a trend at the moment?
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to go all Auntie Jody on you, but when I was younger on the Gold Coast, I would lie in my backyard and douse myself in a gallon of baby oil and lie in the sun. And I've got so much sun damage on my chest, I can't begin to tell you. It is for your longevity. It's not good, not to mention the skin cancer risk. Anyway, back to porn. So this apparently is a thing. You can Google it and say tan line porn. Thank you very much. And up it pops. And also, there's also girls. Producer Molly, you were saying in this because as a fellow porn enthusiast, Producer Molly.
Fellow dirty bird.
Producer Molly, this is like people are going to get spray tans with the light. Oh my gosh.
So they wear their bikini in there and then get the tan over the bikini. So you get that look.
Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of smart.
Well, it's smarter doing it that way
There's
than
no
lying,
damage.
than lying in the sun like a little pig in a rotisserie based in baby oil.
This is crazy and such aggressive news for me. Not just a tanning thing, but also like this whole pornography situation. If one was to do, I don't know, some sort of research,
Yes.
what would be the best spot to go to and which computer?
I don't know.
And which workplace?
I don't know, mate.
I'll be honest, my computer's pretty compromised.
Yeah. But the best thing about that, Producer Mo, is you could genuinely look at pornography now and be like, hey guys, it's just work.
Yeah.
It's just work. Just doing some research.
Just another quick question without notice. What's that tanning that some boys like to do? Perineum tanning?
Yeah, no tan lines on me. Very, very even. In fact, the strangest area is more tan than everywhere else. Can you believe that? Sort of fades off as it gets to the chest.
You've taken the instruction to salute the sun very seriously indeed.
Exactly. Is there a genre for that? Oh, boy. Taking a flight from one city to another, whether it's work and especially if it's a holiday, should be a very, very relaxing, positive experience.
I feel like the only flight where things go pear-shaped here in Australia is like Melbourne to Bali.
Yeah.
That's when things often go wrong. They call it the bogan flight.
Yes, and isn't the loosest flight of all time the one from wherever it is in England to Ibiza or something?
Oh,
There's one of those sort of party routes which is notoriously loose.
Well, let's add Philadelphia to Chicago to the list because a female passenger on Southwest Airlines Flight 418 from those two cities allegedly stripped naked and, wait for it, defecated on her seat.
Oh, jeez. No, that's my number one rule when flying. Don't defecate on the seat.
Don't boo yourself.
I can't stress that enough.
No.
Say it to my kids all the time.
So Southwest Airlines confirmed the incident, stating that police and medical personnel were called to handle the situation. The aircraft was taken out of service for deep cleaning. Thank goodness for that, because you don't want to be in 28F after that woman has been in that seat.
Yeah, a couple of things to take from it, though. I'm so thankful she did it as the plane was landing, not taking off.
True.
And also, I did like the statement that Southwest Airlines put out there as well. Nothing is more important to Southwest than the safety of our customers and employees, and we appreciate the professionalism of our flight crew when they were cleaning shit. That last bit wasn't in there. Let's talk communication via the telephone. This is an outrageous statistic. 65% of people say they're afraid of phone calls.
Oh.
That is, having a proper conversation on the phone. So that means Gen Z and millennials, they express more anxiety than millennials and they completely dread phone calls. So what they'd rather do instead is text.
Yeah.
Now, it's hard to navigate this space as someone who loves a phone call versus a text.
You love a phone call.
Got a lot to say.
So much to say. You love it. I mean, sometimes I'm like, can you just text me? But nah.
Do you think that sometimes?
Sometimes.
Oh, that hurts
don't
my
be
soul.
sad. Don't be sad. No, especially when you decide to call me because this is your favourite thing to do is when you're on a run. And it's like, so the
Like
conversation
It's good, isn't it?
punctuated by, how do you think the show went this morning? I'm like, for God's
But
sake.
pounding as well.
Yeah, the pounding.
What are you doing?
And also, this is another observation of you, and don't take this personally, but I can tell when you're at Channel 7 during the day as opposed to when you're by yourself, because the way that you answer the phone is so vastly different. So if you're at work, you'll be like, hey, what's going on? Like that. But if you're in the car by yourself, you'll pick up the phone and you'll be like,
Yeah, imagine if I do that at work. I'm like, oh, there he is, calling one of his mates again. Instead, I got to disguise him like, hello, it's Andrew speaking. And as soon as I get outside, I'm like, what's going on?
oh, it's very. I think, and this is very unfair to all my friends and family, but I very much depend on what sort of mood I'm in if I want to text or if I want a phone call.
Yeah.
And it's up to you as my friend to ascertain what sort of headspace I'm in. And you then need to decide
You're kidding, aren't
to
you?
text or to call me.
Don't put that sort of pressure on me. You think I'm intelligent enough to work out exactly what's going on?
No, that's a good point.
No way at all. See, with most blokes, and especially myself, you just got to be straight down the line. So, look, I got to go. This is not a good time for me.
Okay.
Don't want to talk or text me or something like that. And I'll go, I'll take it personally, sure. But I need the message delivered like that.
Your mates, do they like a chat or are they texters?
It's 50-50, I reckon.
Yeah, right.
Because there's a lot of mates that you speak to and, they just won't pick up the call.
Yeah, right.
And I take it personally when you call someone, they text you back.
Oh, God, you're a sensitive little soul.
Oh, well, if you call someone and they text you back like, sorry, I missed your call, what's up?
No, but
like,
that's...
No.
Okay, well, that's
No, call for a call.
That's your cues. This is what I'm saying. That's your cues that you need to pick up where you need to go, okay, that person's obviously not in the mood. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
It's just the headspace that they're in.
Yeah, probably depends as well on how old you are. Younger generations who grew up with texting and instant messaging may have less experience with phone conversations, leading to discomfort or anxiety. Don't know how to wrap up a conversation. I still don't know how to wrap up a conversation.
No, you don't. You're always awkward at the end.
So
Talk for hours.
Producer Molly, you're a big voice memo chick, aren't you?
Oh, I'm obsessed. It's the best way to communicate.
But that's like, isn't that like, it's like when my mum calls me and I can clearly see that there's a missed call, but she'll leave a voice message anyway. Just say, hi, darling, just calling for a chat. I'm like, yes, Mum, I can see. I can see the missed call. So that, to me, a voice memo is the same as a voicemail.
So different.
Why?
A memo, you just hold down that button and you could talk for 5 minutes.
And do you
It's
do
so
that? Like,
good.
how long do they usually go for?
It depends what it is, and it depends who I'm talking to. But I probably have maybe 4 or 5 friends that I do back and forth memos with. It's great because you can just do whatever you're doing, reply when you need to. You listen while you're doing your dishes or whatever to their 5 minutes, and then you go back with whatever you have to say. It's a phone call with convenience.
But what do you mean?
Why don't you just
have a phone
have
call?
a conversation on the
Because
phone?
if I can't talk for an hour, which is what it usually is with certain friends, but I've got 30 minutes, I can just get out all the facts I need to tell them. Then she said this, then this happened, and then it's done.
Yeah. Well, do you know what's convenient about that? You don't have the awkwardness of knowing when to wrap up the conversation. That's true.
That is quite frankly the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Jodie, the people be with me on this.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
No, you want to put it out there?
Yeah.
You want to put it out there via the phone line or the text line? Hey, if you've got it's 13 24 10 via the phone or text us 0400 919 919.
Ironically, text us to say how much you hate having phone calls.
Yeah, that's outrageous, isn't it? Are we done? I don't know when to wrap things up.
Jodie and Hayesy. Song.
There she is. Look at you. You're like stretching, flexing in your tank top.
No, I just... Okay. It's just because I hate losing. I hate losing, full stop, and I hate losing to you.
Yeah, you're aggressively competitive, like too competitive in this space. We probably need to talk about it after 8 o'clock. But right now, it is... What's the score? What do we got? 6 to 5. Oh, my gosh. It's in my favour, but boy, oh boy, it's close.
Yeah, isn't it? Okay. Nervous?
Look at you. You can't even talk. You're just so nervous and competitive.
Okay, let's rip into it. Let's go to Daniel from Langhorne Creek. Who are you choosing, Daniel?
I'm on Team Hayesy today.
On your Danny boy.
Righto. Interesting.
Okay.
Kiara from Para Hills West. Hi, Kiara.
Hi.
Hi. You got stuck with me. I'm so sorry, babe.
No, I chose you. That's all good.
Oh, you chose me.
You chose Jodie second. Yeah.
That's a whole... It's a whole level of misguided faith. Okay.
Well, it's 6-5. It's close.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. All right, so here's the deal. A few orchestralised songs. We've got to guess them, and whoever wins, either Daniel or Kiara will score a Wallace Cinema Family Pass. Producer Molly does a very good job in this space. I think what Producer Molly has learnt is that you got to be really, really aggressive.
And firm.
And, yeah, there's going to be people making all sorts of crazy eye contact and maybe threats, etc. Just ignore it and be very, very precise with the song titles and artists.
All right. Let's kick this off.
Okay.
I'm nervous. Here we go, Jess. You ready? No doubt. Just a girl.
He's got it.
This is controversial because that is not just a girl.
No, that's Lizzo. It's to be loved.
Oh my gosh.
So if the orchestra's spoken, bad luck. Right, move on.
Do we just move on?
Yeah.
Was that right though?
Yeah, you're correct.
Oh, so
Did you want me to sing it? Oh, I'm just a girl.
that works. That actually works nice. All right. See, this is what happens because we're not allowed to check the buttons. Okay? Because you're not allowed to find out the songs.
It's interesting because I would argue that orchestral version could have been Lizzo as well. So,
What do you
anyway,
mean?
whatever.
The orchestral version, what was this?
Anyway, let's go.
All right. Song number 2. Boy, oh boy, hope this works. Do you know it?
Yep. This is Nelly Hot in Here. Jody, Nelly Hot in Here.
Correct.
Oh.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Oh, she's done it.
I should have said hot in hair.
Hot in her. That gives you an extra point. That gives you an extra half point, I reckon.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Last song.
Yep.
Ready to go?
Mm-hmm. Jody, is that To Be Loved from Lizzo?
It is.
No, you can't do that. What are we doing?
Yes, you can.
No, we can't.
Oh, you can.
Are we going to do this or we're just going to call it a draw this week?
Look, I almost want to give it to Jody because next week
I
it's
literally
way
was
more
like,
interesting.
oh gosh, I hear where the stuff up has happened here.
Yeah, but I didn't know that the stuff up was going to be song 3.
It took us so long to work it out, even knowing.
But this was the first one as well.
Listen, I'm happy to call it a draw. I'm happy to call it a draw in the interest of being magnanimous and also fair. It's a draw this week. Am I right, producer Molly?
Right. Yeah. We're gonna start again. Hey, Daniel and Kiara, congratulations, guys. You both got a family pass.
Thank you very much, guys.
You're so welcome. Okay.
There we go. That's how it's done.
This is where you thank me for being...
Actually, sorry. That is not how it's done at all. Tune in next week for a much better version of Song. Jodes, let's talk communication styles. And I've got to say, you're a very, very good communicator.
Oh, that's nice.
Sometimes a bit wordy, but very good communicator.
Okay. When you say sometimes I'm a bit wordy, do you mean I use big words that you don't understand?
Yeah, those big wordy words.
Yeah.
That is very true. Sometimes I reckon maybe at least once a day you'll say something and I don't know the word that you've used.
Okay.
So I will then spend the next sort of 5 to 10 seconds trying to work out what that word means in relation to the rest of the sentence. And usually I can work it out.
Okay.
I spend too much time working out that word instead of just listening to the sentence. But hey, communication, baby. Communication.
Oh, man.
How about this? A study has found that women say over 13,000 more words per day than men. So on average, that's 20,000 words they use daily. While, of course, men take away 13,000, that's 7,000 per day. Researchers suggest that this difference is linked to brain structure and communication styles, with women generally being more expressive and social.
Okay, can you explain something to me as a man, right?
Probably can't if we're using words. But I'll give it a go.
How many times a day, and let's presume Kara's not listening right now, is she talking to you and you are genuinely not soaking in what she's saying?
Yeah, look, I've got to be better at that because she can tell straight away. It's an ability within 3 or 4 words, I reckon she knows when I'm not paying attention.
Isn't that so funny? Because, and this is where it's so unfair, because I'm the same with my husband. I can tell, I can start a sentence and go, he's not listening.
Yeah.
Or I can get midway through a sentence and he's walked out of the room. So why is the onus on us to read when you're not in the mood to listen?
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? On top of that as well, she's tasked with so many conversations with our kids, 1.5, 4-year-old and 7-year-old. And sometimes a 4-year-old will be like, Mum, Mum, Mum. I had a dream about a dragon. And that'll be it. And then she'll walk off. You're like, and then Cara's got to absorb that information. She's taking it all in.
Yes.
It's an aggressive way to absorb it. There it is. There's a lot going on.
Do you know why the kids don't come to you and go, Dad, Dad, Dad? I had a dream about a dragon. Because even they know, even the 4-year-old knows Dad's not listening.
Dad's not listening.
Oh.
Wait, what? What did you dream about? Here's the other thing about men as well. We don't know, I don't know why, but when we get given key pieces of information, sometimes it just gets lost.
Right.
I feel like this would happen a lot with you, and maybe it happens a lot with you, producer Molly, with your beautiful boyfriend Jeremy. A situation will happen where, for example, I don't know, Cara will say, hey, how's Paul going at work? And I'll be like, Paul? No, he got sacked like 4 months ago. She'd be like, what?
Oh, man.
That is huge news. And I'll be like, yeah, that happened ages ago. She didn't. And then I'll try and gaslight her. She'll be like, you never told me that. I'll be like, yes, I did. But then straight away, I just sort of turn to this little midget. I don't know what I'm saying. So I'm like, oh, no, I didn't say that. Sorry, I forgot to give you that information.
You're actually the worst at bearing the lead. You are so bad at not telling me things that you know I'd be so fascinated and interested in. Instead, you'll just tell me about how fast your splits were over your 10K run.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, but you ran into that person. You didn't tell me every single word that they said. My husband's the same. Like, he'll play golf, say, with his brother or his dad, and there'll be something going on in their lives. And I'll be like, hey, so what's going on with da-da-da and da-da-da? And he'll be like, me no.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean me no? And he'll be like, well, we didn't talk about it. I'm like, you spent 6 hours together.
I like it.
How did you not talk about
That's just how blokes operate. Hey, got some good news for you. Went for a 10K run. I'm going to be a bit late though, sorry, because I ran into Tom Cruise and we went and had coffee. Let's talk about possibly the most competitive man on this planet, and that is our boy Jason Horne-Francis.
Possibly other planets also.
Oh, 100%. I would back him in against all the other planets too.
Yeah. So he had a situation on the weekend where he's been sort of criticised for. He's also been heavily defended because apparently his old club, North Melbourne, targeted him pretty heavily. They were pretty heavy on the lip all day, and Jason lost his damn mind.
Yeah, which is fine.
And, so he went a little bit cocoa bananas on the weekend.
Yeah. It's okay. Look, what we did learn is that it's probably better in a situation to be having to pull back a youngster because he's too competitive versus not competitive enough.
Yeah, trying to jam
I feel
him
like
up.
that's a pretty solid narrative as well. I did get the chance to release this story yesterday, a bit of a private photo shoot that we did with Channel 7 and Jason. So Jason comes down and he is covered head to toe in sweat. It's like someone has poured a bucket over him.
Yeah.
And he's agitated and he's angry.
Yeah.
And Jamie's like, oh my God, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And it turned out he was furious and he was in a bit of a headspace because he had lost the game of table tennis to Willem Drew. And we're sitting there going, he's that competitive. He's like, oh, God, it's bull crap and all this kind of stuff. So Jamie's like, right, Jason, go have a shower.
Yeah.
Think about it. Come back and let's do this shoot.
Yeah.
And he did it. And I feel like that's the competitive juices that you want from footballers.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all been there though, haven't we? On 13, 24, 10. What do you get actually embarrassingly competitive over?
Is it something like song?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your personality changes after a loss. And sometimes we've got to sit there and be like, what's the next 15 minutes going to be like? Our boss, Josh, is laughing in the corner because he knows it. He knows it. He's lived it.
Okay, don't you laugh for a start. You might be my superior, but I won't tolerate that in this studio. I resent that. I don't really change. I do change a little bit when my husband and I play that, you know, that air hockey game.
Oh, yeah. That is infuriating.
In an arcade where you're like, tuk, tuk,
Yeah.
tuk, tuk, tuk. And because he played, obviously, very good ice hockey player, he gets white line fever. And then, because I want to beat him at his own game, I get white line fever. And then it gets to the point where your hand's smashing against the puck and then there's blood everywhere. It's a nightmare.
It's good, isn't it? I haven't told him this, but my brother-in-law, we took our boys bowling the other night and they were having a delightful time. Little did he know that I was winning in bowling and I was placing that particular moment as the most important moment in my life.
Yes.
That I kept the lead and eventually won.
And you
I was sweating like a pig as
how,
well.
How old were the children that you beat?
No, I beat the kids. No, with him. So my brother-in-law.
Right.
So, and he was hardly trying as well. But I tell you what, I was putting in 302%.
I bet you were, mate.
It's very satisfying for me when I won as well.
Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you win, and you're not humble in victory.
Oh, no. I took the shirt off, waved it around. Fist bumps all over the place.
Let's go to Tana in Ranella. Good morning, Tana.
Good morning, Jodie and Hayesy. And how are we on this fine Tuesday morning?
We're so
good, Tana.
Good, thank you, Tana. What do you get embarrassingly competitive over?
Well, first, I'd just like to say that Francis is an absolute legend and a superstar, and he can do whatever he likes.
So true.
Good call.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's Uno, and I just can't. I have to win, and I'm super competitive. So I was playing with my 7-year-old, and I was just winning like back to back. It was like amazing. I was living my best life. And then one time she dealt the cards, and I got like all 7 of them out in a row. She didn't even put a single card down. And she started bawling her eyes out. She's like, why can't you just let me win? And then she ran away. And I was like, you know what? Why? Because second place is the loser. And I'm a winner. And I was just dancing around in the lounge room. It was brilliant and amazing.
You're yelling
I mean, she's traumatized forever. But you know what? If she wants to have a competitive edge, she's just got to learn from the best. That's me, and that's Juan Francis.
100%.
So true.
Built from the same cloth.
Let's
Well
just
done,
fast
Tana.
forward 15 years when Tana's daughter sits in front of the psychologist and said, there was one time my mum played Uno with me and she beat me so bad. She was running around the lounge room. So that'll be fine.
Yeah.
She'll be emotionally stable. Don't worry about
No
it, Tana.
problems at all. She just refuses to participate in sports because she's scared of coming second, which is actually still a pretty good result. 13, 24, 10. What do you get stupidly competitive over?
Check this out.
This is Adelaide's favourite way to wake up. Jodie and Hayesy on Nova 919.
13, 24, 10. We want to hear from you. What do you get stupidly competitive over? And this is off the back of our very good friend Jason Horn-Francis, who clearly has this competitive streak that's so aggressive that sometimes it needs to be pulled back.
Yeah.
We love it though.
Yeah. He was absolutely fuming that he lost a game of table tennis to Willem True. But he had to go and have a shower and calm down when he was down at the club.
Had to walk a couple of laps and just really sort of reset himself.
Yeah.
That's okay, Jade. Sometimes it happens. We'd love to hear from you, 13, 24, 10. I got to play football out at Central Districts with a couple of twins who are quite well known in sample circles and probably broadly as well, and that is Chris and James Gowans. They are the two most competitive blokes that I ever met in my life.
With each other?
With everyone, but especially with each other as well, which often comes with twins, don't they say?
Yep.
I remember it must have been my second or third session, and we were doing 1Ks.
Yeah.
And it must have been the second or third 1K, and I'm running on the outside, and it's the last lap of probably the third one, so everyone's absolutely buggered.
Yeah.
And I've taken, I think it was James on the outside.
Uh-oh.
I took him right at the end, and he tried to nudge me just before the finish line into the fence. And
Is it training?
this is a training.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, I was like, well, I'm not going to stand down here. So we went at
course
each
you
other.
didn't.
Well, because I was like, well, this is a bit of a test. So we went at each other and we were pushing and shoving, and everyone was carrying on, and eventually got separated. And I sort of walked off. And as I was walking off, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? It's like my second session. I'm trying to fight blokes. Oh, they're going to get rid of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stewie Cochran, who's an absolute champion of South Australia footy, he came over and was like, hey, Roy, as in the coach, just saw that and he loved it. He loves that competitiveness.
Really?
Oh my God. Twins were maniacs.
Yeah. Didn't you say
In a really good way.
they punched on at half time?
Several times.
What?
My first game I ever played, at halftime, they got in a fist fight with each other. We were still winning the game too, by the way. So that's what we're talking about.
That's amazing. Good morning, Steph. What do you get embarrassingly competitive about?
Morning, guys. I get embarrassingly competitive about almost anything, literally anything, like little things. At home, it can be cooking food for our kids, like me versus my husband usually, or like I even versus my husband at anything. Like if we're at the arcade, I have to try and beat him again, like in anything.
You know what's a good one is that basketball one. Oh, man, that gets willing, doesn't it?
I love that one. I'm so good at that one as well.
Hey, Stephanie, do you get your kids involved as well? Like, do you guys cook and say, righto, who did a better job here, mum or dad?
Usually I don't have to. They're very vocal about it.
Yeah, right. And so it's mum that wins?
Yeah, usually.
I'd be happy to let Dad win that game.
Good for the kids, though, isn't it?
Dad's a better cook. Thank you, Steph. Thank you so much, Sandy. Good morning. Hi. What do you get overly competitive at?
Frying eggs. My mum always says I can cook a perfect fried egg with a yolky. And, oh, mate, I'll end up going through 8 eggs just for an egg on toast. Like, I'll throw the pan. I end up throwing the pan. Like, I lose it. I need the perfect egg. And I'll call my mum up literally in tears being like, I tried. She'll be like, I can cook the perfect egg.
Yeah, it's an art.
I lose it.
It's a genuine art.
Zandia, what does the perfect egg look like for you?
Oh, it's like a hard white bit and like a runny orange bit always. Got to have a good egg.
Yeah, that's true.
The amount of satisfaction you get from when you pierce an egg and the runny yolk just runs everywhere all over your toast is something that it's really hard to describe, isn't it, Zandia?
It's just perfection. And my poor kids, I'm a single mum, they've got no one else to cook them eggs. And I'll just be like, just a minute, it's coming. You know? The egg is coming, man. Like 7 more eggs and it'll be there.
It's been 30 minutes, Mum. Stop being such a perfectionist. It will never end as well. And not just sibling rivalry, but rivalry with your husband or wife.
100%.
You've just got to win. And that's a really, really good space to be in for the kids.
Yep.
When Mum and Dad are trying to do a cook-off each and every night.
Yeah, so true. Andrew Hayes, when communicating, one key letter can make a major difference, can't it?
100%.
So my 13-year-old at the moment has decided she wants all the nice things in life, so she wants to get a job.
Oh, good on her.
Yeah.
13. It's probably time she grew up, to be honest.
It's so true. Because don't start ragging on her. Don't start. She's already recovering from what you said about her yesterday. Honestly.
It's called feedback, sweetie. Take it into your working life now.
So we've had a situation with Peyton where there is one particular word she misspells all the time and it can mean everything. It is a game changer. So we had a scenario where she was trying to organise a play date with one of her friends and she messaged the parent on behalf of her dad. And she said, hey, Saturday is great. I was going to get my dad to massage you.
Yeah, jeez. And that's the issue, isn't it? Because knowing what I know about Greg, it makes sense. Can you stop offering up your dad for goods and services?
To matter. And so that was like, we thought we'd learnt from that mistake.
Yep.
We really thought we'd moved on. But the other night she sat us down and gave us a presentation. She likes to do PowerPoint presentations when she wants to get her point across about what she wants to do. So because she wants a job, and she wants a job at the local coffee shop on the corner called Nathaniel's, right? So she compiled an argument as to why she should be able to work at Nathaniel's.
Okay.
Of course, you have to be 14, so she's got 6 months to wait.
Right.
But anyway, she said, step 1 in Peyton getting a job, Dad needs to massage Nathaniel.
Yeah. You're going to find your strengths. And if you're going to take the next step in life, and your dad's a very good masseuse, then go for it.
I just had this visual of him walking down to the coffee shop and going, hey, Nathaniel, my daughter wants a job. Oil or no oil?
Out the back? Should we go out the back?
A skinny latte, thanks.
I need to know. I need to know now.
I need to know. I need to know.
I need to know.
What's in the news today?
I need to know this.
Here's what you need to know. What you need to know with Jody and Hayesy.
Lady Gaga feels like she's been around forever.
Yeah, hasn't she? She's just been so consistent.
So very consistent.
What's she actually saying? Is it even poker face?
Who's to say, mate?
There's one particular moment, like, is she saying something different than poker face? So who's to say?
It's a bit like abracadabra.
Oh gosh. You ready?
Oh, it's a bit like pucker face, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, she received an award, and basically it was a lifetime achievement award, and she said she was very, very grateful for said award, but also that she wasn't quite sure how she felt about receiving it at 38 years of age. Have a listen.
I don't know totally how to think about this, because winning an award honoring my entire career at 38 years old is a hard thing to get my head around. On the one hand, I feel like I've been doing this forever, and on the other hand, I know I'm just getting started. Even though The world might consider a woman in her late 30s old for a pop star, which is insane. I promise that I'm just getting warmed up.
So, what do you take from that?
Well, I take from that, don't write me off. I take from that, don't be ageist by saying that just because I'm in my late 30s, I'm done.
But that's what she's saying. But do you feel like the people who gave her the award are like, we were just trying to recognise you for being awesome?
Yeah.
We weren't saying you were done or that you're old.
Yeah. I think she's firing broader shots at the industry because, let's face it, most pop stars are like, they start in their teens, don't they?
Yeah.
You look at Britney.
Yeah, 100%. And even like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber had to reinvent himself.
He was 13 or something when he
He
started.
was so young, and he sort of got himself into this spot where he was this kid who was a little bit lame. He had to reinvent himself, and then What Do You Mean came out, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I think he's cool.
He's actually really good. But there's a danger in that too, starting them too young. Do you know a child star or a child pop star that's in a healthy headspace?
Yeah, no, it's not good.
No.
Not good for development.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, people who start really old, there's some fun stories with that, producer Molly.
So Ricky Gervais, he got made redundant from his job in radio at 37.
Ooh.
He then thought, I'll give comedy a go.
Yeah, right.
Pretty good decision for Ricky
it's worked
Gervais.
out well for Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, that's a fair way to reinvent yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Net worth of 160 mil.
See, really?
Bit better than radio.
Okay.
Yeah, I sort of lost a job around that age.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not worth 160 mil.
Is comedy next stop?
I hadn't thought.
There you go.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Scarborough or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.